going on, everybody? This is David Brooks, the Cadillac Counselor, always coming at you to tell you a piece of my mind. And we are in the home stretch for the Board of Education. It's a major issue for me. As we were just talking earlier, yes, you can vote for the governors, the mayors, the president, but there's nothing like the Board of Education because it's so deeply rooted in our hometown. So it's very important to me, and I'm going to make sure that I get as many people as I can to be interviewed so that you, the people, can make a good decision and not just pick names on a ballot. All right. So I'm not wasting any more time. I have Cecilia Ri-
Reidler? Yeah.
Reidler. All right. Cecilia Reidler. All right, ride with Miss Reidler. All right, so I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay, well, thank you, David, so much for this, all the time you're taking to interview us. And I agree with you. I think this is an important vote, and there are 17 people running right now. So I moved to Frederick County in 1985. My three children, I love Frederick County. I love downtown Frederick. We lived in the city for a while. My three children all went to Frederick County Public Schools. They all graduated from TJ. They all had great experiences. I applaud Frederick. I consider it a premier school system. And I taught for 25 years as a science teacher. So I have a high regard for teachers. And I retired in 2018. And I feel like I want to contribute in the school system. And so I'm running. And I worked long looking at data and trying to close the achievement gap. And so that's really important to me. I believe that at-risk children deserve attention. We need to look at data. We need to drive instruction from data. And I've been looking at the MSDE reports on Frederick County. I've been looking at the superintendent goals. I've been looking at the blueprint for Maryland, and all of the goals of all those three entities are focused on supporting achievement and progress with students. And so that's why I'm running.
Right. But you said that you taught in Montgomery County.
Right.
A lot of people, I've been hearing a lot of people talking, chattering, and a lot of people are afraid of the Montgomery County system per se to come into Frederick. And I don't know what that is, but what would you bring to the table from working in another county? What would you bring to Frederick County?
Well, sure. I mean, I did teach in Frederick for a few years. I
Okay.
wasn't teaching what I really love to teach. And so I had an opportunity to teach AP Chem in Howard County. And I did that. I was in Howard for over 10 years. And then I moved to Montgomery because of the drive. I have a perspective of all the counties, especially since my children went to Frederick County. Montgomery County is a very diversified school system. They are catering or focused on kids at risk. And I applaud that. I worked at Northwest High School, and Northwest High School is completely diversified right now. So all learners were looked at, all learners were respected. We worked hard to look at data and drive instruction. We wanted to make sure that we improved the graduation rate. I taught in a high school, so we were focused on students that were chronically absent. I am not worried about Montgomery as far as their educational philosophy. It's a strong system. There are lots of kids taking AP classes. They had high expectations for teachers and staff. And it was a very affirming and belonging community. So I respected all that. And Frederick is becoming more and more diversified. And I think I can bring a lot of the good things from Montgomery County to Frederick County. Um, and so I have no worries about um, Montgomery County as far as their educational philosophy.
Okay. Another big topic that people have been talking about is discipline in the school. I keep hearing it over and over. Some teachers are just kind of getting done with feeling like they're so overworked, and they feel like they're not being supported. How would you go about making changes in that area?
I think that's a great question, and I think teachers feel like that. I have felt like that at times. I think some classes are very challenging. I think the school-based community addresses those problems. I think we know the students who need extra attention. There's resources within the schools. We had a behavioral health department. We had, if we needed to, we had in-school suspension, and those children received mental health supports while they were in school suspension, but they're also responsible for what they were missing in the classroom. So it wasn't just a free time off. We had mentoring services, and so teachers mentored students. I really believe the more you can engage with students, the more students feel like they belong, that we're there for them. We want to help them. We want them to succeed. We call home. Those are all things that can elevate a student to stop being ridiculous in the classroom and start learning. I had MS-13 students with ankle monitors in my classroom. And because of the supports of the school and feeling like all kids deserve an opportunity to learn, and understanding all about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. It was one of my proudest moments when I was able to get that student up on the Promethean board and interacting and being engaged. So it happens in the school. I don't, and it's a collaborative work. And we do have to support teachers. It's not easy being in a classroom, especially of 35 kids sometimes, and we need to bring class sizes down and deal with that. But we really want to help the beginning teachers. The beginning teachers have too much to do. They have to learn the curriculum. They have to engage the kids. They have to deal with behavior problems. So I'm a strong supporter, especially since I was the department chair, of supporting these new teachers, because we need to retain them. And I have helped so many, I've supported so many teachers now that are 15-year veterans and are loving it. So I believe that we need to help teachers that are struggling.
Okay, very good. Another hot topic that has been on the table is vouchers, money going with the student, not just with the district that they are in or whatever school. What do you think about parents that want to homeschool or send their kids to charter schools? How would you deal with that issue?
Well, I believe that all parents have rights. I mean, all parents they're the first educators, and we have to listen to all parents. I know that Frederick County has 4 charter schools and it has homeschooling. I've been on the curriculum site and they have a homeschooling program. Um, I Montgomery chooses not to homeschool. I mean, I'm sorry, not they do have homeschooling, but they choose not to have charter schools. I like the idea that there are programs within the high schools that support learners who are interested in a special curriculum. So for TJ, they have an arts and theater immersion program within the schools. There are, other schools in Frederick County that have specialized programs, and parents who feel like they want strong English language learning, they can go to one of the middle schools. I know the Global Ecology program at Poolsville is a very strong program, and students will be apply to that program, go into that program, and receive an immersion in what they love best. My high school had an immersion program, and it was called the Ulysses program, and it was research based, and it was kids that had a passion for something, whether it was dance, but we had a cohort, and we structured a curriculum that would be appropriate for them. So I think the schools can also cater to a lot of the needs that parents want. I think the classical charter school in Frederick, I've looked at some of their curriculum. I believe that our schools in Frederick County could develop an immersion program within one of the high schools too.
Very good. I was just reading today on one of the videos that I posted already, and there was a lot of going back and forth about the mandate of the 443, and they were talking about that a parent said, I don't want a male to be having to play sports with my daughters. And what would you is there any room for change in that in the 443 code? Do you feel like there needs to be changed, or is it okay?
So, I mean, I don't believe that's a topic that we are going to be able. I think it's beyond us as far as what the state is going to say as far as school sports. I don't think we can, as a school system, make those decisions in a vacuum. And I think the state and the will be making some of those decisions. I believe that in high school sports, it is difficult if for males to enter. They're stronger. I think the competition could be overwhelming in their favor. But I would have to, I would have to look at some more information, and I've certainly talked to people about it. But I believe that once puberty starts, it's males have more muscular ability, and they're going to have an advantage over females. And I don't know the answer to that. And I support them. Obviously, I support transgender children, but I'm not sure, that they should be competing in after puberty in sports and with females. And I don't know what I think we need more conversations.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I don't think it's a local school topic anyway.
Well, I think the federal government is about to come up with a decision, and I think once the decision is made, then it's going to trickle down through the systems. I noticed that you are a very curriculum focused person, and there is a big push about emotional and social development being brought to the students. How do you feel about that particular thing? I know that you're a curriculum person, and I read on your website that you're focused on the math, the science, the basics of school. How would you go about addressing that big push of emotional social learning?
I think it's incredibly important today. I'm looking at the Frederick County budget for schools, and they are hiring. I can't give you the number, but many more school psychologists. I think kids have lots of stresses, and I opened my classrooms in the morning and at lunch and just listened, and kids needed a place to be. I believe that we do need a lot of school supports. I saw a lot of kids that just needed it, and guidance was full of kids going down there because they were struggling in their family. So I would applaud the budget and incorporating more school supports for mental health issues, because that's the time that we really have to address these in high school. And we need to give the children growth mindsets that they can do whatever they want. And yes, I believe strongly, and I believe strongly too that we need to help them figure out what they want to do, and what areas they are interested in. And we want career and college readiness for all these children. And I was always asking my children, what do you want to do? How are you going to support yourself? What do you like doing? And I think we have to ask those questions all the time.
Very good. Um, I'm a therapist, and I'm all about that. Like, if kids aren't, because I went to alternative school while I was in school. I went twice, and I ended up in jail within a year and a half after graduating. Do you feel, and this is a two-part question. So the alternative to incarceration pathway is a very large gateway into very criminogenic mindsets. But how are we going to tackle this drug situation? Because parents are talking about these bathrooms, kids are vaping in class. I mean, my son told me a kid was in the back vaping during class. How would we go about tackling this problem so that these students don't end up incarcerated?
I think we need to address them in the schools, especially maybe now in middle school, and high school. I think there could be a class, there could be mentors. I think any child that we feel that is on the verge of using or have used, I think we need to have school supports for those children. I know that lots of kids are using drugs, but I think, why are they using? I mean, we figure out the root cause of why they're using, and give them support and allow them to express themselves. Maybe it's a small group, maybe it's a separate class, a separate curriculum. But we want to give them, know that they have the opportunity to be whoever they want to be, to do what they want to do, and the world is their oyster. And so I think we encourage them. And I think really that's why I loved high school. I loved the interaction with the kids, and they, I believe, thought that my classroom was a safe place for them. They could tell me what they want. And I think high schools should be affirming and belonging, and we need to help these kids figure out what they're going to do. We just can't let them graduate and say goodbye. So, and I think we need to focus on mental health issues and drug issues, and as much as we can. So I would encourage, if I'm a board member, I would encourage extra classes to help these students with drug problems.
Okay. Well, we got a couple of more minutes, and I want you to, out of 17 people, I think you said that a couple people jumped in right at the end. Why would they want to pick you? Like, what is it about you? Tell the people, pick me because of these reasons.
Well, I worked with high school students for 25 years. I loved what I taught. I loved teaching chemistry and biology, but probably even more than that, I loved working with the students, and I believed in the students. It's a wonderful time for them. I want to encourage them to do whatever they want to do after, and to succeed. As a board member, I want to support teachers. I think teachers are an amazing group of people. They're on the front lines, and all the teachers are passionate about their kids. So I want to encourage teachers, and teachers will encourage learning. And I think it all happens in the classroom. I understand the classroom. So I want to sit on the board, and I want to make sure that we listen to the staff, the school staff. We listen to the community. I love the community listening sessions. I've been door knocking now for weeks, and I've certainly enjoyed listening to everybody, what they expect from the school systems and how we can improve it.
Hey,
That
that's all I needed to hear. Well,
okay.
I appreciate you coming on, and I wish you the best,
Thank
and
you.
because I know what it's going to be. From running 2 years ago, this is about to be a swarm, and with 17 people, it's a lot of opinions. So I just thank you very much, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
I appreciate what you're doing too, David. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.